This game, RuneScape, it looks like a simple clicker game, but the skill ceiling is impossible to hit. Millions of people across the world have watched in awe at the achievements of players like Wooks, who has repeatedly shattered the limits of what RuneScape players knew to be possible. Or Exact, getting the level 3 Fire Cape, and so nearly completing solo Theater of Blood on a 42 defense hardcore Ironman. He took RuneScape to the next level. A hardcore Ironman on RuneScape never trades, but also has never died. Many dedicate years to this difficult and mortifying mode of RuneScape, knowing that with a single misclick, all their work could be gone forever. In 2022, I was so curious how the best hardcore Ironmen in the game stack up to one another. In my opinion, the best account is the one that's obtained gear and rankings from the most dangerous activities in the game. So I made a list of the top 10 most legendary hardcore Ironmen. Exact took first place, but that was a long time ago, and a lot has changed since then. All but one of those players on the list have fallen. The skill ceiling has only gotten higher, Piquere's gear has gotten more powerful, the escape crystal now exists, which teleports people away from combat if they've disconnected. There's a new cast of contenders, and Odablock's head is balder than ever before.
Oh no, oh no! I mean, there's nothing I can do.
So in search of the most legendary hardcore Ironmen, I scoured the high scores, Reddit, Twitter, Temple OSRS, and asked you guys. From my research, you'll get to see an organized list of some of the most mind-blowing achievements from RuneScape's best players. Most of the players on this list are maxed skill total and have earned their place through achievement in PVM, PvP, or both. Rankings are decided by many factors. One of the factors is a metric called Dangerous Efficient Hours Bossed, which is efficient hours bossed with all the non-dangerous bosses filtered out. For example, Kraken and Jad. This was manually calculated for 25 possible contenders. There are some other ranking criteria too, but now we pay respects to those that have fallen since the last video. Number 10, Haircore. It's not all just about PVM. There's a place for PvP to achieve legendary status. He has a series where he plays a hardcore Iron with the goal of getting rank 1 on the hardcore Ironman Bounty Hunter high scores, while fighting each and every one of his opponents in actual one-on-one PvP fights. His initial account he built for the series, Hair Hunter, now renamed to Islam, was his first try at this goal, and he got pretty far. He killed 21 Bounty Hunter targets, cementing himself on the hardcore Ironman Bounty Hunter high scores. But then he died.
I just died in my hardcore.
But this death gave birth to another hardcore Ironman called Haircore. This one is a 50 attack pure. And if you know anything about pure PKing, you'll know how easy it is to go from full HP to nothing faster than you can blink. But this didn't stop him, and after building his account for hundreds of hours, he was back, ready to take on the goal again, and continue to rack up target kills. Player after player after player, until he was fighting a player by the name of Fit Redhead. A big stack. Let's rewind that. He gets hit 92 on 92. And if it wasn't for just one minor mistake, this wouldn't have happened.
Unfortunately, while I was doing Tob for Bruise, I got a defense level with a magic short bow. I had it on long range, and that actually caused my account to die. I died at 67 kills. That account actually died because of that defense level, because he hit me a 92 on 92 when I had 92 health. And if I didn't get that defense level, I would have had 93 health.
So why is this account legendary? PvP has a place on this list, even if it only earned the number 10 spot this time. And Haircore is rank 2 in that category. But that's not all. I took a closer look at the high scores and noticed something interesting. Yeah, there's a guy named Gwen in account, and he seems to have a lot of bounty hunter kills, 86, surpassing even your best bounty hunter account by 19 kills. But if we look at his stats, you can see that he has 16 attack, 99 strength. Okay, that's a good Abimal build. Wait, he has 10 hit points? What?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
No. Say it louder for the people in the back. Say it louder.
It's dead hit points.
So there's a lot of people in Bounty Hunter that boost kills, and this used to be non-bannable. So before this guy, before the rule got implanted that Bounty Hunter boosting is bannable, this guy would go in an Aussie Bounty Hunter world and get a bunch of friends or a clan that does this for a service and farmed all 86 kills on a 10 HP Dragon Warhammer account, basically.
Really? Okay. And did he tell you this?
He did. He admitted to it, and he said he was being very genuine. He said, "I hope you beat the record. All my kills were boosted before the ban, and good luck," basically.
From his time PKing on this account, he PK'd 660 mil in keys, all of which he destroyed since he had no way of claiming them. This is pretty impressive considering he just got off Tutorial Island just 2 months prior. And even though he's technically gotten the most non-boosted kills, that's not good enough for him. And he decided to run it back on another 50 attack peer called Final Strand. But in November of 2024, this account died, but not without some controversy.
I'm about to cry right now. It's my favorite account of all time, honestly. I swear it was. The story on how I died on this account was very saddening. Unfortunately, I was getting cheated on by a AHK client. I was getting ragged for several days straight, which means that somebody that just harasses you and making sure that you don't play the game.
If you look closely, he got frozen in Bounty Hunter, then got hit with a big Gmaul stack.
In Bounty Hunter, you're not allowed to freeze anybody and stop their movement.
Movement restriction spells are not supposed to work in Bounty Hunter, but the Undead Grasp spell from the Arceus spellbook seemed to be broken.
People have been complaining that this bug has been here for a year because in the Arcanius spellbook, you could stop somebody from moving. So this ragger would not only use a cheat client to spec me out, rag me for over 3 days, but also use this bug exploit that's supposed to be patched over a year ago, but he ended up killing me because he stopped my movement. He had 5 combat levels higher. He spec'd me about 100 times in the last 3 days. Unfortunately, one of the times that he finally did it ended up getting me, and he was basically rushing me every single time.
Haircore is the legitimate rank 1 PvP hardcore Iron Man, and for that reason, the account deserves the number 10 spot on this list. Number 9, Alkan, a veteran RuneScape player who has been uploading RuneScape content on his YouTube channel for over 11 years. Whoa, Kemp, just featuring content creators for this top 10? No, I promise that's just how it shook out. He really did earn this spot. Just wait till you see my research on some pretty mysterious players that don't have much social media presence. A bit of cool history about Alkan: he's amassed over 20 billion total experience from both RuneScape 3 and old school RuneScape. And this includes over 3 billion experience on his hardcore Iron Man, Number1 Bass. Now you may have noticed he wasn't on the last list of hardcore Iron Men we made. That's because going for 200 mils or just doing a bunch of safe content does not earn you a place on this list. What does is actually risking that one life that the account has, doing some of RuneScape's most challenging and dangerous content. And over the last 2 years, Alkan has actually decided to shift his approach. Now he's doing a lot of dangerous bosses. He's made significant progress. He's now rank 5 at Commander Ziliana, rank 6 at Krill Tutsaroth, and has thousands of kill counts in other dangerous bosses around the game. Out of all hardcore Iron Men who are alive, he has the 9th most dangerous efficient hours bossed out of any of them, at 649 hours. But all this alone wouldn't have earned him a spot on the top 10. No, he's here because every moment he's fighting a dangerous boss, he's risking an account that's nearly 200 mil all.
Come on, bro. I'm not doing Slayer at the same time as this. Whoa.
He was killing blue dragons on the side and forgot to drink an anti-fire. The Max Cape's Ring of Life perk teleported him away. That's quite lucky. He doesn't plan on slowing down with goals of continuing to pet hunt, achieve many top page high score rankings with various bosses, and potentially complete some Tombs of a Masket and Theater of Blood next year. I don't plan on slowing down either, especially in these fighter planes. Oh, not RuneScape? Right. This is War Thunder. Whee! I love learning about military history and studying the art form of advanced fire making.
Getting a bit of unexpected turbulence here.
War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and is available now for free on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. This game is basically a time machine through military history, so I put playing this game on my resume that I don't have. And with a wealth of high quality content to discover, it is worth checking out. My favorite parts are the incredibly detailed vehicles and how much the developers have tried to make things as realistic and true to history as possible. To play, click the link in the description below. And for a limited time, you'll get multiple premium vehicles and an exclusive vehicle decorator with a massive bonus pack, which can be received when on PC or console. And many thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring the channel. Now this is a household name for hardcores. Rank 8 is taken by Miwi. He's a veteran hardcore Iron Man player who has been playing the game mode since it came out. Oh, and they've also built up 3 maxed accounts, 1 main, 1 Iron Man, and Miwi, their hardcore Iron Man. Sitting at rank 68 overall on the hardcore Iron Man high scores and over 1100 dangerous efficient hours bossed, they are not afraid of danger that is thrown at them. Some of their notable achievements include rank 1 Nex, rank 1 Vorkath, and over 16,500 kill counts on various dangerous bosses. They were also able to finish 2 out of the 3 raids, Chambers of Xeric and Tombs of Amasket. And yeah, Chambers of Xeric is a safe death, but having so many hours invested into the account magnifies the risk of all the dangerous activities that he does do. One mistake, misclick, or even a disconnect, and all of that progress is gone. Miwi was also able to receive the first ever Zamorak Hilt drop and the first ever Unsire drop out of any hardcore Iron Man in the game. And this was back in 2017. Miwi thinks he's gotten pretty lucky with his hardcore loot, and yeah, that seems to be the case. I interviewed Miwi and he humbly insisted that he isn't in the top 10, and he instead gave credit to other hardcores, which you will see later on in this list. But hey, to this day, despite playing the game mode from its inception, Miwi is still alive. He may not think he's earned it, but I ran my calculations and considered the facts, and he's taken the number 8 spot on this list. At number 7, we have HCIM, rank 65 overall, rank 1 Vardorvis, rank 2 Tombs of Amasket normal mode, and rank 3 Tombs of Amasket expert mode. HCIM has filled out collection logs for extremely dangerous bosses. They have everything from Tombs of Amasket except for the Masori mask. And the reason they're rank 1 Vardorvis is because it took them almost 4,000 kills just to get the axe piece they needed to make the Soul Reaper axe. In August of this year, they uploaded a video showcasing their hardcore's bank, and the gear tab itself is worth over 6.5 bill, with nearly max gear for every style. Fosani's Nightmare and Theater of Blood are grinds they plan on taking on in the future. However, they said they want to practice on another account first, all while maintaining a high ranking in the top 100 for the overall leaderboards. At number 6, we have Praisefoot. That might be a familiar name to you. Praisefoot is a hardcore Iron Man I featured in my previous list of legendary hardcores, and he is back. Since I last took stock of the most legendary hardcore Iron Men, Praisefoot has gained over 600 dangerous efficient hours bossed, now with over 1,450 and over 24,000 kill count at various dangerous bosses. Praisefoot has taken on some of RuneScape's toughest challenges on his hardcore Iron Man. So many of these challenges that he ended up becoming the first ever hardcore Iron Man to complete the Grandmaster combat achievements. He was alive last time that we checked in on him, but as you could tell, he has now fallen. So since then, how did he die? Maybe going for Blood Torva, or maybe he died during a Coliseum run. Maybe an unavoidable disconnection. Well, the truth is, after all of his accomplishments, it's probably something you did not expect. He attacked a superior abyssal demon, thinking it was a regular abyssal demon, and he got stacked out within 4 game ticks. And just like that, one of old school RuneScape's most legendary hardcore Iron Men died. After everything he put that account through, that is a sad way to see it go. And at the time of his death, he was rank 18 overall. Rank 1 Theater of Blood with over 1,500 kill count, rank 2 Tombs of Amasket, and had thousands of kill counts in other dangerous bosses. His death was over 1 year ago, but his account will be remembered as one of the most legendary hardcore Iron Men ever. There's still but one hardcore Iron Man alive from my last list, none other than Lydia Kenney. He's achieved a lot since the last video, so let's get into it. On the overall high scores, they're currently sitting at rank 4, not too far off from Alcan at rank 3, but that's not all that makes them legendary. Despite being ranked up so high on the leaderboards, and being so close to 200 mil all, they still do dangerous activities to this day. 2 years ago, he had over 20,000 dangerous boss kills, and 1,100 dangerous efficient hours hours bossed. But he's taken it up a notch. Now he has 72,000 dangerous bosses killed and takes rank 1 in dangerous efficient hours boss. He also has the most overall bossing hours out of any hardcore, leaving the competition in the dust by over 600 hours. Rank 1 Dagonoth Kings, Calphite Queen, Grotesque Guardians, Abyssal Sire, Alchemical Hydra, as well as thousands of KCs at other dangerous bosses. Also, he was the first hardcore Iron Man to ever receive the Callisto pet on September 17th, 2018. There were no singles versions of the bosses back then. He's currently pet hunting, trying to fill out old school RuneScape's Pokédex of all the pets in the game. And with 30 out of 62 pets, he's collected more pets than most people, all without dying a single time. He had the highest dangerous bossing hours in the last list 2 years ago, and he's only surpassed that now by a large margin, which is why he's deserving of legendary status in this list as well. And if you think that's impressive, just wait for the next accounts. Number 4, McSkittles95, also known as Lemoy. He's a hardcore Iron Man whose rank 6,968? Who put this noob on this list? But you see, he plays on a purely PvP locked hardcore Iron Man. He originally started playing the account with the intent to finish all of the Wilderness Collection log slots. This includes Revenant weapons and emblems, both the Malediction and Odium wards, the Voidwaker, Full Dagon High, and a bunch more dangerous drops, all with 1 life. Just look at this map of the Wilderness. He's had to scour these lands for a year, kill every boss, and contend with scary PKers all throughout his journey, even going into multi-combat zones to kill bosses like Scorpia, Chaos Elemental, and more. An entire year after creating the account, he managed to complete his goal, obtaining every single Wilderness unique item. That's impressive on its own, however, Lemoy wasn't done there. Once he finished his initial goal of the series, he laid out an even crazier challenge, finishing the Grandmaster combat achievements on a hardcore Iron Man in the PvP worlds. Lemoy currently has a 3.5 billion GP bounty on his head. Yeah, if you kill his PvP hardcore, you'll get more than max cash. In PvP worlds, he can get hit by people in absolute max. And unfortunately for him, the gear he goes up against just keeps getting more overpowered year after year. This account becomes especially impressive when you realize he only created it a little over 2 years ago. And ever since stepping out of the Wilderness, he's already achieved so much on his account and has made significant gear progress towards his goal of achieving the coveted Zuck helmet. Will Lemoy complete his goal or die in the process? Only time will tell. At number 3, we have Akkhas B. Akkhas B is rank 92 overall on the stats page, but just look at his boss rankings. He's rank 1 Soul Heredit, rank 1 Tombs of Amascut Experts, rank 1 Araxor, and has a bunch of top 10 rankings in various other dangerous bosses. Soul Heredit as well as Tombs of Amascut are very easy to die on, which is why his kill counts of 14 on Soul Heredit and 504 Expert Tombs of Amascut are extremely impressive. He has the 4th most dangerous hours bossed out of any hardcore Iron Man, sitting at 1,259. At first I had trouble finding this legendary player. However, with some help from previously mentioned Miwi, I was able to find his Twitter and get in contact with him. He says initially his hardcore Iron Man was supposed to be a small side project while maxing his Iron Man, but eventually it became one of his main projects. Fast forward to today, he has Nex fully completed. Every item from the Desert Treasure 2 bosses, a scythe from Theater of Blood, a solo 500 Osmondton's Fang Kit, 12 out of 12 Chambers of Zarek Purples, the Master Combat Achievements completed, an Elysian Spirit Shield, and many more. And some of his goals involve getting the Metamorphic Dust from Challenge Mode Chambers of Zarek, as well as finishing off the Arcane and Spectral Spirit Shields from the Corp Beast. Those are some very impressive achievements and definitely deserves the number 3 spot on this list. Getting very close to the #1 hardcore of all time here, but at number 2 we have Shayzz, ranking at 764 on the overall hardcore Iron Man leaderboards and with the 7th most dangerous boss in KC out of any hardcore. He's achieved thousands of kill counts throughout his journey, sitting at rank 5 for Leviathan, rank 6 for Theater of Blood hard mode, and rank 3 Duke. Shayzz is no stranger to danger, which is why just 3 months after the Desert Treasure 2 bosses were released, he completed Old School RuneScape's hardest PVM challenge, killing all of the Awakened bosses for the Ancient Blood Ornament kit. And these bosses are no joke. Take for example Vardorvis, who has a max hit of 61 with his melees and a 96 max hit with his axes. And here, praying against melee attacks doesn't work with its normal effectiveness, meaning the boss can hit constant high damage even if you do everything correctly.
Thank fuck, man.
On January 31st, Jagex released the Desert Treasure 2 combat achievements, and just 2 days later on the 2nd of February, Shayzz was able to complete all of the achievements and reclaim his Zuck helmet. And surprisingly, it only took him 1 year and 1 month from account creation to initially get the Grandmaster combat achievements completed. That is insanely fast considering he had to get all of his stats, gear, and complete the combat achievements in that time. And after he reclaimed his Zuck helmet, he was the only player in the entire game that had a Grandmaster helm on a hardcore Iron Man. Shayzz was also the first ever hardcore Iron Man to claim the Dizana's quiver. Here's his bank tab. All 3 mega rares, full Blood Torva, full Twisted Ancestral, full Fortified Misori, full Virtus, all of the Desert Treasure 2 rings, the Soul Reaper axe, and even items such as the Imbued Heart, Volatile Orb, and the Inquisitor Plate Skirt. One of RuneScape's riskiest and best accounts cements him as number 2 on this list. Before we reveal the #1 spot, some honorable mentions are due. Like 5th HCIM LOL, who is the first ever hardcore Iron Man to get 200 million experience in every single skill, cementing their #1 spot on the high scores. Ciroren has 853 dangerous efficient hours bossed, and rank 3 Corp Beast, rank 3 Zulrah, and thousands of other dangerous bossing kill counts. Lake has had multiple notable Iron Man and hardcore Iron Man accounts over the years, but his most recent hardcore is most impressive. He's got himself a twisted bow.
Oh my god. Bruh. Dude.
Some next drops, and even went back to the Tombs of Amasket, the raid that killed his 2 previous hardcore Iron Men.
If we can see what the drop is, then we know what it is. Oh my god. We got it.
And now he's completed the Tombs of Amasket. And if you look closely, he wasn't wasting any time. He scaled up the invocations, something many hardcores won't do due to the risks that come with it. Our friend Shayzz shouted out Mooky Wooky, who has some impressive stats such as rank 570 overall, rank 2 Coliseum Glory, rank 7 Commander Ziliana, and at one point he had all the Grandmaster combat achievements completed before the new tasks were released. And he achieved all this on the account in under 2 years of its creation. And a legendary hardcore list would be incomplete without at least mentioning some of the legendary hardcore Iron Man groups, like the Farmers V1, with notable names such as MmorpgRSRoidie, Roidie, and Mr. Mammal. They accomplished many things, such as Grandmaster quests, many God Wars drops, and they even took on the Theater of Blood.
Shit's wild. Oh no way!
There it is, dude.
There it is.
End of the road.
Oh, the tweet.
Oh.
I literally looked at my YouTube to close a song and I didn't see he was staring.
Oh, that's all right, man.
If you want to check out their consolidated journey from start to finish, we made a tribute to it on RuneScape Chronicles, the community channel. If you want to check it out, the video is linked in the description below. There are, of course, some other very impressive groups. For example, the Lit GIM hardcores, who are ranked #1, with 2 players in the group being max total level, and all members at over 2100 total level on their accounts. This is it, the #1 spot, Redemption, also known as Mutts. A veteran hardcore Iron Man player who has been playing the game mode not too long after its creation in 2016. He currently sits at rank 62 overall in skills. But why is he the most legendary One Life RuneScape account? Let me explain. The combat achievements are the hardest challenge directly offered by the game. And other hardcore Iron Men had completed the Grandmaster combat achievements in the past. But one thing that separates Mutts from the others is when he completed the combat achievements. You see, before January 31st, the most challenging combat achievement Hardcore Ironman would have to complete was the No Pressure task, which has the player kill the alchemical Hydra whilst only using a Darok's Great Axe and having no more than 10 hit points during the entire fight. Tell me about the most challenging goal you've accomplished on your Hardcore.
I think Darok Hydra is up there, especially with all the pressure of having all the other previous tasks completed already and it being the final task. Kind of did not do myself a solid there by doing that, but I think it was the right decision at the time because it made for a very cool moment. But yeah, I think Grandmaster and Bloodtorf are both very much up there.
This in itself was already difficult, as one mistake could mean certain death. But Jagex made obtaining that coveted Grandmaster helm even harder with the release of the Desert Treasure 2 and Fortis Coliseum combat achievements. The Fortis Coliseum released on March 20th of 2024 and is a wave-based challenge similar to the Tazar Fight Caves and the Inferno. However, there's one small detail that makes it infinitely more challenging for Hardcore Ironman. Unlike the other two wave-based challenges, the Fortis Coliseum is dangerous. And compared to the Inferno, the Fortis Coliseum may be a shorter overall experience, taking something like 20 minutes instead of the Inferno's 70 minutes. But those 20 minutes are a lot more punishing for any mistakes made. One misclick could mean the end of the account. This insane level of risk is a big reason why Akkhas B earned the 3rd spot with that 14 kill count. But Mutz has taken it a step further, elevating his risk at the Coliseum by attempting all of its combat achievements. For example, the Coliseum Grand Champion requires 10 kill count, and the Reinforcements achievement requires the player to defeat Soul Heredit whilst Bees 2, Quartet, and Solar Flare 2 are active. If you know anything about Bees, then you'll know nobody ever takes that modifier unless they're specifically going for Reinforcements combat achievement, and there's a very good reason for that. Okay, so what was your closest call to dying?
My closest call to dying? I don't really have a specific moment. I think one of my chances at the Colosseum was very rough. I got meleeed. I got dragged out by some bees because I was doing the CAs there, and I got meleeed by the Minotaur and I got smacked quite hard. But I was like just about surviving, but I could have died there. That was like a really big one. It's pretty recent as well. It's probably my most recent chance.
Ever since the Fortis Coliseum achievements were released, he's the only Hardcore Grandmaster to exist in the game. We interviewed the other Hardcores on this list, and they don't plan on going for the Fortis Coliseum combat achievements anytime soon. So Mutz might be the only person in the game with the Grandmaster achievements for months or even years to come. I'll update the description though if there are new Hardcore Grandmasters within the next year. Mutz has achieved the best gear in the game, has completed the hardest challenges in the game, and even continues to progress the account and have fun on it to this day. Lately you've been pet hunting. Which pet has been the most difficult to go for?
I haven't even been pet hunting. I've been getting very lucky recently on pets, but I think that's kind of a given. You always get lucky on pets early on. Struggling very hard right now with one pet, and that's the Heron pet. It's definitely not the most exciting pet, but I've been fishing like all the time when I'm not like streaming or anything. Nearing 30 mil XP now. Got like so many Chiron ones in the bank, so many angler fish. Like I will never run out of food, so that's a nice thing, I guess. I think the most recent addition that I've had that was like really cool was the Corporal Beast pet. That is one of the most time-consuming pets on an Ironman if you were to go on raid for it. So the fact that I got it like early is a massive deal if you want to go for all pets.
These are the most legendary Hardcore Ironmen. Ever since my last list, these players have all surpassed and achieved great things. Things that many would consider impressive on a normal Ironman, yet alone an Ironman with only one life. 8 out of 10 of these Hardcores are still alive. Only 5 players were alive in the 2022 video. And I think it's because of the Escape Crystal. The Escape Crystal is such a huge update for Hardcore Ironmen by teleporting them to safety if their power or internet goes out. This question I'm really excited about because the item itself I'm really excited about. The teleport crystal. How did that change the game for you?
The teleport crystal is an insane update. Definitely the best update that Hardcore Ironman has ever received. I think it's also the reason why there is now so many more like high-level hardcores with a lot of gear. I would have died on my Voidwaker grind if it wasn't for that crystal, because I DC'd multiple times at the wilderness bosses. I've not always had the most reliable internet, which is kind of surprising because I've never died to it. But yeah, the escape crystal has made sure that I haven't. It relieves you of so much stress because you just know if I have that crystal set to 2 seconds, there's not much content in the game that will kill you within 2 seconds. As long as you play smart and know your limits, like, okay, if I'm sitting at 40 HP, maybe it's not so smart, because if I then DC, I might just die. So if you play around with that and make sure you know what you're doing and make sure you can't die if you do DC, it's amazing. The crystal got my back.
So now, hardcore Ironman rankings are truly based on skill. Heck, it even makes me want to make a hardcore Ironman. Write a nice little message for me in the comments if you'd like to see a few videos of that journey. And this is why Mutz deserves the #1 ranking spot on this list as the most legendary hardcore Ironman. And you can check out the full 20-minute interview with Mutz on the community channel, link in the description below. It's worth noting I didn't want to repeat anybody on this list who didn't make progress since the last video. For example, Exact's hardcore was already dead when I made the last video, so his hardcore story has already been told. But still, I suggest you see how those hardcores stack up to these ones by watching the original video. It's one of my all-time favorite videos I ever made, so that's why I wanted to make this update. Leave a like if you enjoyed, it will encourage me to make another update video like this down the road. And even though what these players have accomplished so far is mind-blowing, only time will tell what kinds of achievements and accounts we will see in the coming years of old school RuneScape. So there you have it, the most legendary hardcore Ironman. Also, shout out to War Thunder and a reminder to check out their game. It helps out the channel a ton. Check it out with the top link in the description, and the bonus can be received when on PC or console. Thank you for watching, and to War Thunder for supporting the channel.